County Board of Commissioners will come to order. At this time, I would like to call on Mr. Hoyle, who will lead us in our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
We bow our heads in prayer. O Lord, our Heavenly Father, whose glory is in all the world, we ask you to look with favor upon the members of the Board of Commissioners and to bless them and all others who hold positions of authority and bear rule throughout our land. Give them wisdom to know your will and the strength and courage to carry it out. Fill them with the love of truth and righteousness, and so rule their hearts and prosper their endeavors, that justice and peace may everywhere prevail, to the honor and glory of your holy name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. The first order of business will be to consider any additions or deletions to the agenda. Are there?
Mr. Chairman, we need to item C under new business.
Okay. And I have been informed that Mr. Moretz will not be here with us, so we would also need to pull item B under new business. Are there any other changes to the agenda? If not, do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
It's been moved. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The amended agenda is approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item of business is approval of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion that the consent agenda be approved?
So moved.
It's been moved that the consent agenda be approved. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The consent agenda is approved. Thank you very much. We do not have a public comment tonight. Sir.
I got here just before the gavel and the sheet was gone.
You did indeed. Mr. Clark, would you come forward? That was a very close call, and I saw your intention to go there, and I couldn't withhold my hand, but yes, you certainly. Your name, please?
I'm Keith Clark, and this is going to be different. I am extremely concerned about the 4,000 people who are unemployed in Lee County, as I know you are. I had placed on my blog a very simple mechanism for people to make 2 clicks and find jobs in categories, 29 categories within 50 miles of town. I'm working now with a leading civic organization to remove that from my blog, to disassociate it in any way with my blog, so that people would not be feel that if they were referring their clients or put the link on their page, that they were in any way endorsing my blog. Because I think that anything we can do, this is designed for the person who knows how to check their email, and that's about it. And if they can check their email, they can at least check their jobs by categories. There was some question about search engines and what to use, and I did a little research just recently, and the search results they get gives them a 50-mile radius. I did one just on Sanford, just on Lee County, without driving. I took out the jobs at the hospital require medical degrees of some kind, 2 or 4 or 8. There are 9 jobs. That is consistent with what the ESC has. There are 9 jobs. I will be sending to each of you through the clerk an article that appeared in Fortune magazine in 1994 that says, "The end of the job. As a way of organizing work, it is a social artifact that has outlived its usefulness. Its demise confronts everyone with unfamiliar risk and rich opportunities. I think there is a serious possibility that the job as we know it today is gone. And I know that many of the jobs, in any event, are not coming back. But if this individual is right, we've got to rethink the way we do everything. And I consider this something extremely important. I appreciate the opportunity to address you and hope you will give your attention."
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next item of business is new business, and we have Mrs. Pat Leroy, who is going to make a presentation to us.
Thank you.
How are you?
Well, good evening,
Good
and
evening.
thank you for inviting us back. I was before you about a year ago this time, I think, and I wanted to share with you, at that time I shared with you some of the goals that the American Red Cross, the Triangle Area Chapter, had for your community. And so tonight I'm here for 2 very wonderful reasons. First and foremost, to introduce you to a couple of my volunteers, Mr. and Mrs. Malpass, and my colleague Abby Cameron, who's here in the office serving the American Red Cross in a multitude of capacities. She does a little bit of everything, and along with our colleague Lynn Stanfield as well. But tonight I want to share with you the progress that we've made within the community and the things that we've been doing. I think you'll be very pleased. And in your packet, you'll find a variety of informational brochures regarding CPR, first aid, blood drives, and disaster services. But this particular document, if you could just focus with me on that for a couple minutes. And I'm not going to read it word for word, and I'm going to try to keep this light and informative. But first of all, I'd just like to touch on the 4 lines of business that we conduct here at the Sanford office of the Triangle Area Chapter. Our disaster response, we still continue to respond to single-family fires and larger scale disasters in the community. All of our assistance is free, made possible with generous donations of time and money from people just like yourselves. Being prepared can make your family and community safer, and we continue to provide community disaster response to citizens of this community. Our health and safety services, we teach people every day CPR, first aid, swim, water safety, babysitting courses, those types of things, and continue to increase our numbers with each passing month. Our international services, we continue to help families reconnect and with loved ones locally or in foreign lands. And for example, during the earthquake in Chile, that was an opportunity for the Red Cross to really help conduct some communicating between local families, for example, in the area Italy, who had family in Italy who wanted some information about their well-being, and so the Red Cross was able to help facilitate some of that communication. Our Armed Forces to Emergency Services activity has really escalated in the past year, and I have been given the opportunity to serve as the Joint Family Services Assistance Program Manager for the entire state of North Carolina. That's no easy task. I think I was in the wrong room at the right time when that came down. But what we've done is really be able to bring some additional volunteers in to help support the GIFSAP and the Service to Armed Forces, the Yellow Ribbon activities, the Welcome Home, the deployment, the farewell event that took place in Fayetteville last week. Mr. and Mrs. Malpass, for example, they helped to be part of that mass care, that mass feeding operation that went on down there, and we were very much a part of working with the military families, providing information as it relates to our Get to Know Us Before You Need Us program, which is critical to those who are deploying and to the new shippers and that kind of thing. So again, another role that we're taking on and becoming very, very active in this. So we will be looking for volunteers in the community to support these activities as well, because Fort Bragg, as you know, is just a hop, skip, and a jump down the highway. So we want to continue this real high level of involvement and serving our military families as well. Blood services, as you probably well know, every 2 seconds someone needs blood, and here in this community we continue to have routine and regular drives, because we within the blood region we support 141 hospitals. So continuing that activity and making sure that the blood supply is there and for our citizens in this community is really critical. So we appreciate all the work that's done there. I'm going to ask you again for help in recruiting volunteers for any of these lines of services, with a first and foremost focus on disaster response. We're always, we have folks now who are helping us in the office, who help us with day-to-day routine operation in the office, but we need folks who are trained to get out on the ground to respond to single-family fires. And as you probably are aware, we're 40 days out from hurricane season, so we really need to get folks trained, and we're actually engaging in an event this Saturday along with the emergency management and a local LDS church in preparedness, and so we're glad to be a party to that activity. So, and on the flip side of this document, this is the real exciting stuff that I wanted to share with you. Again, we've really been up and running here for about a year and a half, and very proud of the strides that we have made. And so in the past year, I can tell you that we've touched 4,000 lives in this community. And here's the breakdown of the 4,000 individuals. We've responded now to actually 23 fires, providing service to over 75 individuals, and we've invested over $22,000 back in your community in helping families who have fallen victim to disaster with emergency food, clothing, and shelter, and in many cases, first month's rent or security deposit. We've trained over 1,400 individuals in life-saving skills such as the CPR, first aid, and the AED, the automated defibrillator. We've collected 2,472 units of life-giving blood, and so we've achieved nearly 105% of our goal, and that's big. And we need to keep that up. So congratulations to the community in that one. So we've provided 220 emergency messages and referrals and other related services to military members that live in or near this community. So we're very proud of that. And again, we've really stepped up our activity and our outreach to support our military families. So again, very proud of that. I always want to thank the United Way anytime I get an opportunity to do that, because they do support us here in the community, and that's significant to our operations. So, and thanks to all of you too for your commitment to your community and to the Red Cross. Now, the other thing I bring to you tonight, which is we're very proud of, we have parked out in the parking lot. I don't know how many of you were able to see it when you came in or have an opportunity to stop by, but we've brought to your community our emergency response vehicle number 1059. And ERV 1059 is going to live in the community, and we've located this strategically in the community, and this emergency response unit is a mobile feeding unit and will be used for mobile feeding operations, and the unit will be deployed where it's needed. For example, into Moore County with our Moore County chapter, or Scotland County, Chatham County, wherever the need arises, that vehicle will be mobile. On the flip side of that, if we have an event here and we need help, you'll see volunteers coming in from Moore County, Orange County, maybe as far away as Wilmington. But we're really, the chapter itself is part of a regional grouping, and we're now covering, we're doing a strategic location of equipment and resources to support the community in disaster. So congratulations on your new ERV, And like I say, it will live and reside at the Red Cross office here behind lock and key, where it's safe and sound. But you will see it out and around, and we're going to take it out in parades for other community events, so you'll see the IRV. And I encourage you, when you see it, volunteers like Mr. and Mrs. Malpass, stop and ask them. Look in the back of it, ask them questions, and let them tell you about their mass care and their feeding operation that they run out of that rig. It's a lot of fun to hear all those stories, and they've got some doozies. So, having said that, again, thank you again for your time this evening and your support of the local American Red Cross. Thank you.
Would you stay just a moment? Let me invite any of the commissioners who might have comments or questions.
Certainly.
If
Be
any
happy to.
at all.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been involved with the Red Cross all my life, and I think you just do a tremendous job. And I know that the disaster relief is something that's very important to us right now. And I think what you're going to be doing Saturday with others is very important to our community. I think the question I think about, though we are sort of formally structured with disaster relief, what happens to us if we really have a catastrophe? Are we aware of how to seek help and to help our neighbors? And I think that that's what you're going to be helping to have people better understand what they can do, what their options are. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. The days of waiting for help to arrive are gone, and families and individuals need to be prepared to sustain themselves 72 hours to 5 days to 2 weeks. And again, waiting for help is not the answer. Not having a family communication plan is not the answer. Not having the supplies that you might need to shelter at home or to evacuate. All of us need to take personal accountability and responsibility. And you're right, the activity on Saturday that we're going to partner with emergency services and the LDS Church is an incredible opportunity to educate people.
And say again where that will be and what time, please.
That will be,
It's at the church.
it's at the LDS Church.
And it starts at noon, 12 to 5, open to the public. Anybody's welcome.
It's on
Okay.
Keller Andrews Road.
Okay. Well, thank you again very much. We appreciate your coming, and to your colleagues, thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd now like to call on the county manager to make a report, and I see that Mrs. Minter will, I believe, speak to us at this time with a financial report. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For you have the report through March 2009. For tax collections, we are at 98.06% of our budget, and that's compared to 98.61 last year. As we discussed with you earlier, this year, a lot of that is coming from prior year collections versus current year collections. Local option sales tax, we're still running behind. And also in the area of permits and fees and investment incomes are where we are also significantly running behind last year's numbers. In reviewing expenditures, 75% was our target, as ongoing juvenile detention is running at well above budget. We are currently at 98.82%. I am holding off just as long as I can before I do the budget amendment so we can hopefully get a good number for that. Also, economic development is at 93.68%. We did pay out several incentives during March 2009, and those are listed in the agenda memo there for you. Other than that, there were nothing significant, no other departments significantly over budget at this time. I'd be glad to entertain any questions you may have.
Any questions?
Lisa, I just have one. Explain, there's about 92,000 in incentives we paid out in March. What is the process that's used when cutting those incentive checks? Does EDC do their own audits and just tell you it's okay and you cut the checks, or do we verify any of that data?
We rely on EDC to verify that data, and then they send a request that we fund them for the incentives, and then they write the checks to the actual companies, once we pay them. They have to collect money from us, the city of Sanford, and Town of Broadway.
So we don't do any of the auditing or whatever they.
No, ma'am. We do rely on them to check their numbers.
When North Carolina One Fund money is used, the governor's fund, we do get a report that we have to fill out with the EDC's help that verifies the numbers. So, and those types of incentives, I mean, we don't do it.
Were those?
I've only signed one recently. And
I know some of these companies
It was
have
Challenge
layoffs.
Printing. Challenge Printing was the only one. Our agreements are tied to the investment,
Not the jobs.
not the jobs. So, and that's been the practice here.
That's the only question I had, Lisa.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now we come to commissioners' comments. And start down on the left, Mr. Pascal.
I just want to publicly pass some accolades on to the Lemon Springs Volunteer Fire Department. I got a call over the weekend from Reed Hagel. In January, they went through their insurance rating inspections, and they got the best you can get, which is 6 for residential. So just wanted to mention that homeowners, you know, in 5 miles of either their main fire station in Lemon Springs or the substation should start to see some insurance premium reductions. So just wanted to pass on those accolades to them because they work hard to get those ratings. That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Darrell?
Well, I'd like to say a big, I don't know, heartfelt gratitude to all the planners for the Broadway Arway Festival that took place on Saturday. If you weren't there, you missed it. It was amazing. We had the best time. We heard anything from 2,000 to 4,000 people were there. Beautiful day. We couldn't have ordered a better one, and just a great community event. So to all the organizers that helped plan that, thank you, thank you, thank you, and to all the folks that attended. It's what Lee County's about, and it wasn't just Broadway folks. It was a lot of folks from Lee County and outside of the county as well, and just well attended, and put it on your calendar for next year and make plans to attend.
Mr. Owen?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Kelly?
I saw that farmer's market opens this coming Saturday, and I would hope that everybody listening would really go and try to support our farmer's market. It's at the depot, and it starts early Saturday morning, and I know they're starting with strawberries, so it'd be a good thing. Instead of going outside of Lee County, please try to support our own farmer's market in our ag zone. I just know it starts at 7 or so.
I think it's maybe 8 to 5. 8 to 5.
Only one day?
9 to noon.
9 to noon. Okay.
One day?
Well, the Strawberry Festival is this Saturday. I think there's some special activities and some demonstrations with strawberry recipes and all that good stuff.
Are they gonna have
But every Saturday after this.
Actually, they're gonna have fun and games for kids, local chefs preparing delicious strawberry desserts, and bring your proper plant to the MGV Plant Clinic.
I've got
strawberry ice cream.
maybe, Doc.
Make it their permit.
Oh. Hey.
Good job.
Mr. Reeves?
Yes, I'd like to ask the board to allow the manager on our behalf to send our condolences to the state senate in the loss of former chairman of the Board of Education, county commissioner, former North Carolina Senator, Vernon Malone. I think the funeral's gonna be Thursday, so soon we get something out.
Thank you. Any other comments? I'd like to just close by saying that to remind our citizens of the Pottery Festival, which is coming up on May 2nd and 3rd, and hopefully we will see 7,000 to 10,000 people attend that event on 2 days. And with our economy the way it is, we're hoping that that we will really be able to sustain the numbers of people who have come in the past and really build the Pottery Festival. This is its 8th year. Time flies, and it is a really fine opportunity for people to see some of the finest pottery in the world made right here in this section of the country, Lee County and surrounding counties, in the sort of pottery center of our state. But do think about that, and if those who can attend, I'm sure it would be appreciated. It's something that helps our county grow and our business enterprise grow with all of those people who come into the county. So keep that in mind. And that's my comment. And I believe the next thing in order would be a motion to adjourn, since there's no more business.
So moved.
So moved. All in favor? Say aye. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Okay.